last time on Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga, we defeated two completely original characters, Popple and Rookie, and now, after learning a few new moves, we're going to explore the Chucklehuck Woods in search of the Chucklehuck Reserve, the best soda that's been told only the finest jokes. Or so we assume. So, right off the bat, we've got Pest Nuts. They're fairly tricky because they do this, but while the timing can be difficult since they're not visible for a lot of that attack, you can at least see who they're going to attack pretty easily. Now, these Pest Nuts do explode into beanies after a certain amount of damage, but they can also be a different enemy. Slightly. Only a little bit different. However, that is rare, so I don't even know when they're going to appear. They probably will eventually, though. Oh, and it goes without saying, but don't jump on these guys, they're spiky. Ah, there we go! So that was a gold beanie. As you might have guessed from the fact that it ran away, that's our metal slime of the game, if you're familiar with that concept. A fairly weak enemy that nonetheless yields a lot of experience points and maybe some good items. However, it runs away if it gets the chance, and of course gold beanies have a very high speed stat.
Do they also have high defenses like metal slimes?
I forget. I think they do because they don't have a lot of HP. Which, quick note about that, the new Brothers attack we got is actually extremely useful for killing gold beanies, so if you actually manage to get one before it runs away, use Chopper Brothers, because it's good for dealing damage. Alright, so what do we got in here? Hey, we've got a green pipe and some coins, so let's focus on this first. Gotta get those coins. And in the corner, we've got this very tricky Chuckle Bean. Ain't chuckling now, are ya? So yeah, as you can see from that world map, the green pipes are your source of quick travel in this game. So always walk into them when you can, because that's what activates them. Also, if you're wondering, no, I don't know how Mario & Luigi's levels ended up like that. It's not like I've died at any point recently. Alright, so that should be about it for... Actually, I was gonna say that should be it for enemies, but I think we're already going to have some new ones in a sec. Oh yeah, we also get a map. If you have a dungeon, they might have signposts like these that have the maps in them, which typically make dungeons look a little more daunting than they actually are. Chucklehuck Woods can run a bit long, but it's not too bad overall. Alright, new enemies. I feel like there are new enemies somewhere around here. Oh, refreshing herb. That cures poison. We have not seen poison yet. We've also got one of these guys again. Still can't knock him down. Will they ever get knocked down? Who knows? Alright, so we've got a bit of a puzzle here. Just, gotta get some items. And then, yeah, continue on. Not like a huge puzzle, but it should get you used to using Tiny Mario a little more often. Should also get you used to looking for Tiny Mario spots a little more often as well. And now we've got barrel puzzles. Luigi can burrow into barrels and do stuff like this. Ah yes, barrels. The most reflective surface. Just in general. only Luigi may destroy the mighty barrel. How? Who knows? Alright, so here's Chuck Guy, as well as Fuzzbush. So, oddly enough, you would think you couldn't jump on Chuck Guy, but you can, despite their spears. Like, the first time I ever played this game, I absolutely avoided jumping on them. Took me a while to figure out that you could just jump on him and it's fine. Fuzzbush, meanwhile, is an enemy that can actually poison you. You saw back there, it was puking up fuzzies. If those fuzzies touch you, then you get poisoned. Poison, of course, works like it does in most RPGs. If you're afflicted with it, you lose HP every turn. You don't want that. Use a refreshing herb. That's why we're getting those now. That being said, the Fuzzbush attacks are pretty easy to dodge. You shouldn't have much of an issue with those. Well, that's weird. Oh well, let's not think about that.
Enough of that.
Enough of that dead end. We don't need to think about the dead end. What dead end? I never heard anything about a dead end. Alright, so... one thing that's actually pretty tricky about the Chuck guys is the difference in their attacks. Because one of them, they just charge at you. The other, they just sort of go up to you and then try to swipe you with a spear. It's really hard to tell what the, well, tells for those are. Like, I used to think the attack was based off how close they were to you, but I think the main tell is, they do the little hop whenever they charge. So look out for that in order to know if you're going to have to dodge one or the other. Because, you know, usually you can tell attacks apart by whether you have to jump or hammer them. That's kind of been the method since we got the hammers. And it's been useful to sort of give enemies a more diverse attack pattern early on, but give you something else to tell what you're supposed to do for each attack, but now they're changing it up. Anyway, here's this weirdo. Hey, you're very patriotic. Chichola Tree, you just look like the world's weirdest gummy.
I don't get it. What pride flag is that?
Ace, but like ever so slightly lesbian as well. So anyway, yes, midway through the dungeon, we have a bit of a side quest. Oh, hey, gold beanie. And it's actually going to try to attack, so yeah, Gold Beanie attacks very fast, so we're going to show Chopper Brothers now, because this is pretty much the one way to kill it.
Dunk Luigi and attack!
And dead. Yeah, gotta dunk Luigi for the best move. This game's all about dunking Luigi. So many Luigi dunks.
That move should open with like the first 6 or 7 notes of Megalovania.
And for defeating the Gold Beanie, you always get this, I believe, the Spike Badge. The Spike Badge more or less does what it sounds like. It allows you to jump on spiked enemies. Needless to say, it's very useful. In addition, apparently it can drop something called the Chichola Badge, which doesn't have any sort of like fancy extra effect, but it does raise your power by Oh, let's see what my notes say. Oh, that's a 28 power, huh? That's pretty good. For reference, the bean badge we got earlier gives you an increase of 8 power. Also, if you're wondering what the Chuck guy is doing when it's, yelling to the side, that's an attempt to summon enemies. Some enemies in this game will try to get more mooks into the battle, and I don't really like those moves at all.
Nope. Those moves suck.
Yeah, it's annoying when you're fighting an enemy you can handle, because then it's just more battle. But then if you're fighting a battle that's actually difficult, guess what? Now you've just got one more difficult enemy to deal with. It's the worst.
The only game where I'll accept that type of move is Demon King Chronicle, because that whole game is set up to be just... You're not supposed to be getting into fights to begin with, if you can avoid it, so...
Yeah, you're supposed to get your ass kicked. Alright, so this is a bit of a puzzle right here. Basically, we're just going back and forth with Mario and Luigi. Until we get to this gate, at which point we're going to need to hit this switch, open this gate, and now we've got a time limit of 15 seconds. So yeah, how fast can you use your new moves? Try to get all your switching done before, or as you're walking to that hole. Just really be efficient with your time. It's not too bad of a time limit to get through, though. The white Chichola fruit's pretty easy to get. So, yeah, that's 1 out of 3 Chichola fruits. We got it, we're good. Just 2 more, and we can actually get through the dungeon. Alright, so that's all there is on the right side of the field. The other 2 are connected to the left side of this area, so... we got a decent amount of work left, actually. One of the Chichola fruit, I believe, is a lot more involved than the other. Though both of them have their fair share of puzzles, and geez, I'm getting super lucky. Let's see if Knockback Bros can do the job. Indeed it can! So yeah, they've only got 10 or 11 HP, so hit them with a Bros attack and you're good. So, I guess since we've seen both moves now, Chopper Brothers and Knockback Brothers are both extremely good Bros moves. Knockback Brothers is slightly less good, though it just does good damage against spiked enemies as well. So, overall, pretty solid. Chopper Brothers, however, is a move you want to master. When it's in slow motion, the ending bit of that attack, where Mario spins with the hammer, you're a little limited in how much damage you can do there because of the slow motion. You can only press the button so many times. On level 3, however, with no slow motion or button prompts, nothing holds you back from just mashing that button. You can just do that all day, every day, and it's fine. It's good. I don't know the exact damage value of the attack. Of course, the more attacks you get, the lower the damage gets until it's just 1 damage. But here's the thing, you already do a lot of damage with the first few attacks. Even though you're only getting 1 damage for your last few hits, that's still a lot of damage you rack up with those attacks. Chopper Brothers is just extremely broken. Oh yeah, and of course it can also attack spiked enemies as well. You just need Chopper Brothers, that's all you need for the rest of the game. Alright, and now we get a tutorial
About
for
that.
this. Yeah, so, of course, I have already played the game, so I knew these were there, and also, the indication for the Chuckle Beans is pretty obvious, so you're probably going to find them. Or maybe not probably, but like, there's a pretty good chance you will before you get this tutorial. But hey, here's a tutorial just in case you didn't notice.
You'll definitely notice them, but you might not intuit what they are.
Yeah. Because there's definitely a few things around the world map we can't do yet. So you might not have figured it out. Though if I remember correctly, when Raocow played this game, he actually figured it out before the tutorial as well. Well, here's a Wiggler, but, what better thing to do than to just jump on this Wiggler? They're known to love that, right? Oh wait, no, they really hate it. So yeah, you get one chance to heal up or whatever before fighting a mini-boss. He does have the main boss theme, though. So yeah, this is Wiggler. He is immortal. He also has shockwaves that are a bit hard to see and gets multiple attacks per turn. So you might have noticed when he charged at us and we countered, those segments on his body changed color. We want to get them all to change to yellow, which can be kind of difficult when he charges like that. I would suggest going for his back first, just to make it easier to counter Wiggler to oblivion. But once you do that, he gets all sad, and now we can attack the head, do damage, and he won't counter. But the moment you do attack him, he just goes back to this. So yeah, Wiggler can be surprisingly difficult on your first time through, because he's got a gimmick that he sticks to, and it's a gimmick that really does not let him, or really doesn't let you get in much damage at a time, but also you can't counter him to death like that. Wiggler does not have a lot of HP. Oh. And then he runs off crying. Wiggler was only guilty of the crime of not wanting to be jumped on. He was just hanging out in a hole. He didn't want his butt jumped on. He should have that right. But no, we beat him up, because we really needed this fruits. Alright, and now we've got more Chuck guys, but thankfully there's no reason to check out those battles. We know how those work. So, last Chichola fruit is in that cave. And since there's no boss battle here, this one's a little easier to get. Oh no, it's more of those things that break time and space. I would prefer not to use those, but looks like there's only one way to progress, and it's by using the cycle. But first, coins. Alright, everybody prepare for Flicker. Wait, no Flicker! Hooray! I guess that issue just solved itself, and now we can just have a normal holding right and pressing A and B to get to the other side segments. Those really aren't that fun. I don't think they ever particularly mix those segments up. Like, there might be a timed version of those, but other than that, they really can't do anything to make them more difficult. So it just sort of feels like a tutorial that you get every once in a while. Like, I guess it showing up here just justifies its existence in Stardust Field, so it's not a one-time only thing, but I don't know, still feels off. Anyway, get fruited! Oh, I'm so sad you got those fruit. Oh, darn it. Looks like they have played us like a dang fiddle. Alright, well, now our competition's back and heading straight for that fancy soda, so we'll just walk along this really kind of pretty path. Like, this is a pretty unique, like, theming. We're not really going to see that again, so we'll take a moment to appreciate that, and next time on Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga, we'll stop Popple and Rookie from stealing our soda. It's a very precious issue, I assure you.
I like that Popple talks like an old-timey gangster, but I wish instead of C, he said more nyas.
Well, he's not a cat bean, so, you know.
I know, I just want to make more jokes about him being a cat girl.
He embodies the C, not the nya. Clearly, Rookie is more the nya type.
I still remember the Tumblr post. It's just like, people who say nya, cat girls, 1940s gangsters.
I feel like that overlap is really more of Rookie's thing. I don't know why. I feel like Rookie would just be a good user of the cat bell from Super Mario 3D World. I don't know why. Just a feeling I get.